The conversations may have ended and the exhibition halls may have closed, but the discussions about housing is far from over. Across Africa, millions of families continue to aspire to safe, decent, and affordable homes, making housing one of the continent's most urgent development priorities. The recently concluded 20th Africa International Housing Show once again brought together policymakers, developers, financiers, innovators, and housing professionals from across the world to exchange ideas, forge partnerships, and explore practical solutions to Africa's housing challenges. But beyond the speeches, exhibitions, and agreements lies the real challenge: turning bold ideas into practical action, sound policies into sustainable communities, and housing aspirations into reality. Welcome to Housing Development, the program where we go beyond the headlines to examine the issues shaping the housing sector, spotlight emerging opportunities, and explore the policies, partnerships, and innovations driving sustainable housing and urban development across Africa. I'm Joseph Johnson, and it's a pleasure to have you with us. As always, we begin with the latest developments making wave in Nigeria's housing and construction industry.
The Africa International Housing Show AIHS has appealed directly to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to elevate housing to a top national economic priority. Speaking through its Chief Executive Officer, Festus Adebayo, the advocacy group urged the federal government to stop viewing affordable shelter strictly as a social welfare program, but as a primary driver of industrialization and national prosperity. The call came ahead of the show's 20th anniversary edition centered on low-income and informal workers. Organizers emphasized that closing Nigeria's massive housing deficit is key to creating jobs, stimulating local manufacturing, expanding financial services, and lifting millions out of poverty. To achieve this transformation, AIHS presented a 10-point policy roadmap to the executive branch. The proposal calls for establishing a presidential council on affordable housing delivery, digitizing land registries, simplifying title registrations, expanding low-interest mortgage access, and scaling up the government's Renewed Hope housing program. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Senator Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, has called for the urgent recapitalization of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, to expand access to affordable housing. Speaking at the 2026 Africa International Housing Show in Abuja, Tambuwal urged the federal government to strengthen existing housing institutions while calling for reforms to land administration to make mortgage processing easier. He also pledged to support the passage of the FCT mortgage bill. FMBN Managing Director Shehu Osidi said stronger partnerships and increased funding are essential to address Nigeria's housing deficit, particularly for low-income and informal sector workers who remain excluded from conventional mortgage financing. Finally, the 20th anniversary legacy edition of the Africa International Housing Show AIHS ended on a high note in Abuja, with exhibitors, sponsors, and participants celebrating major business deals and high-value leads. Attendees reported immediate product sales, signed memoranda of understanding MOUs, and promising investment talks spanning developers, manufacturers, and financial institutions across Africa. Participants highlighted that the summit's primary strength lay in connecting them directly with key decision makers, including state governors, government ministers, international investors, and policymakers. Sponsors praised the week-long exhibition for providing exceptional brand exposure and unmatched networking platforms to expand their market reach across the continent's construction sector. AIHS founder and chief executive officer Festus Adebayo noted that these success stories validate the show's two-decade mission as Africa's premier housing marketplace. He emphasized that beyond immediate event sales, the true economic impact will unfold in the coming months as initial conversations convert into major construction contracts and long-term business partnerships. Organizers reaffirmed that the show has evolved into a central hub for policy dialogue, technological innovation, and investment opportunities in the real estate sector. The overwhelming success of the Legacy Edition reinforces AIHS as an essential engine for driving economic growth and tackling Africa's housing deficit. To read the full details of the news, visit www.africahousingnews.com.
Right, finding practical and sustainable solutions to Africa's housing deficit took center stage at the AIHS CEOs Forum as industry leaders, policymakers, developers, and financial institutions explored strategies to make affordable housing more accessible to low-income earners and informal workers across the continent. The forum was one of the major highlights of the second day of the 20th African International Housing Show in Abuja. Hafsat Ibrahim reports.
Participants stressed that addressing the continent's housing challenge requires stronger public-private partnerships, innovative financing models, supportive government policies, and increased investment in affordable housing delivery.
Housing should not be the privilege of a few. It should be an opportunity available to every hardworking African. Achieving this requires bold leadership, require innovation, require innovative financing system, effective land reforms, sustainable infrastructure, modern construction technologies, strong institutions, and meaningful partnership between government and the private sector.
Stakeholders also advocated reforms that would improve access to mortgage finance, encourage local building technologies, and create an enabling environment for private sector participation in housing development.
I expect significant progress even by the virtue of coming to the site. I see a lot of improvements, not like that of last year. Normally in any events like this you get experience. You get additional experiences. That's how it is. So you have to get more experience on how to do the housing and other projects successfully in my state.
Unfortunately, rental increase, housing response to macro environment. We all know that Nigeria just went through a devaluation and also a combined with a spike in cost of materials. So you can't get away with rent not increasing. But the one good thing is that more and more people are beginning to do monthly payment schemes and quarterly payment schemes so that it can become easier for people to afford. It is strange. It's in the West, nobody pays 1 year, 2 year rent in advance. It's crazy. Apart from the fact that some of the rental figures you also hear are obscene. I believe that as we make more housing stock available, the rates will become more reasonable.
We've met a lot of people that are key players in our industry, and we've also networked with other people that are beneficial to our products. It is a platform that most people that are key stakeholders in the built industry have to exhibit whatever professional services they have.
The greatest challenge of housing today is funding. Lack of capital is a major challenge. If you look at it today, over 42% of Nigerians are without shelter, don't have house. And except the government comes in and provides low interest funding, it will be difficult. So the team itself is aptly titled. We only hope that the outcome of this conference will be implemented in partnership with the government to make funds available at single digits so that men can access funds, develop quality houses for housing scale.
And as stakeholders continue to seek lasting solutions to Africa's housing deficit, housing finance remains at the heart of the deliberations. For millions of low-income earners, the dream of home ownership remains elusive, not only because of the rising cost of housing, but also due to limited access to affordable and sustainable financing. Speaking at the 20th Africa International Housing Show, former Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun delivered a thought-provoking presentation on the structural barriers preventing low-income earners from accessing housing finance. She also outlined practical reforms and innovative financing approaches that could help bridge the gap and make home ownership more attainable for millions of Nigerians and Africans. Here is an excerpt from that presentation.
The traditional mortgage system is based on a monthly income, a monthly payment, title, predictability. And if you begin to tick Nigerian income against it, we probably fail in 3 out of 4. Do we have monthly predictable income for majority of Nigerians? The answer is no. Do we have title that is provable and verifiable? The answer again is no. Do we have long-term, low-cost money to finance the mortgages? The answer is no. So I put it to you that the attempt to impose a Western mortgage system on Africa is the first error. Let me tell you what happened in the 60s with the black population. They had the same problem. They were excluded from mortgages, they were excluded from financial services, and they were excluded from housing. In those days, a house to rent would have an advert. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish. So they found themselves excluded. What did they do? They created their own system. It was called Partner. It's based on what we call esusu. People gathered money, and every month somebody would take the hand and buy a house. Then all the people in the group would move in as their tenants. Over time, their community were able to house themselves. Today, the Bank of England studied the scheme. So there's something for us there. There's something for us to look at. What is currently working, and then build on it, rather than trying to impose a system that was taken from elsewhere. What is working in Nigeria? Cooperatives, esusu, rental. A mortgage company will tell you that many of our clients are unbankable, and I would disagree. People that pay rent consistently for 20 years are not unbankable. That rental record is evidence of their capacity to pay. What we need to do is to design products that work for them. The worst thing you can sentence someone to is to save for a house and pay rent simultaneously. It's a double punishment. Convert their rent into something that you can lend money against. It started happening in other countries. Mexico, cement companies are actually financing the cooperatives because they're realizing that if these people have bulk money, they will finish their houses more quickly, we will create jobs more quickly, and we will develop our housing stock more quickly.
Former Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun there. Quite an informative presentation, isn't it? In the meantime, beyond the high-level discussions and policy deliberations, the Africa International Housing Show also serves as a vibrant marketplace where innovation meets opportunity. Across the exhibition halls, companies from Nigeria and beyond the world showcased products, technologies, and services designed to redefine housing delivery, improve construction efficiency, and expand access to affordable homes. We caught up with some of the exhibitors to hear the stories behind their innovations, the impact they hope to make, and their vision for the future of housing in Africa. Take a look.
We have quite a lot of developments, some that you already know. The Cocoa House, the Western House in Lagos are owned by Wemabod. So today we are here to exhibit some of the new projects that we have and our existing projects, and just to be partakers of this wonderful event. I think it's done in such a way that it's easier for everyone involved in the real estate business to be able to network, where you have developers, the brokers, and even the service arm of the real estate.
We enter real estate, one of the major brands in Lagos. We are moving into Abuja in a very big way. Yesterday, some of the delegates in this actually branch here, and they were amazed with our projects and everything that we've been doing. And here in at the exhibition, we are here with some amazing offers. Although we've been seeing the turnout has been very good. This is our first time in this exhibition, and it has been a very good experience for us. So we hope to see more of it.
We're into smart home automation, security system, access control system. We also build and design private and commercial cinemas. Okay, so far we've gotten quality lead. We've received a lot of guests in our booth, and going forward, we know we are still going to get more because we came prepared and we are going to deliver at this booth.
We have Niels Realty under Niels Group. We have Niels Interior. We have Niels Autos as well. We have Niels Facility Management as well. It's always been a great experience. Every year it gets better, it gets bigger. So last year or 2 years back, we came in as just Niels Realty. Last year and this year, we're here as a group. So you see, it also helps us expand. We get good clientele, we get good customer services as well.
In Abuja, we have 2 showrooms, and Enugu also we have. Apart from that, Lagos, we are developing a new showroom now. And apart from that, the West Africa, we have in Accra, then Abidjan, then Morocco, Mauritania, Mali, as well as Serbia, Europe. It's a good platform for us to develop the market and to meet the customers. It's not the first time. We are taking participation for the last 2 years, and we have a good response.
Interesting, the exhibition halls were filled with bold ideas and even bolder solutions. It's time for a short break. Please stay with us.
Happy 20th anniversary to Africa International Housing Show.
28周年纪念快乐
Happy 20th anniversary, AIHS!
Happy 20th anniversary, AIHS!
Happy 20th anniversary, AIHS!
Happy 20th anniversary to AIHS!
Happy 20th anniversary, AIHS!
From Lenzo Homes,
happy 20th anniversary, AIHS!
From Proma Paint, happy 20th anniversary, AIHS!
Glad to know you're still watching Housing Development with me, Joseph Johnson. Now, one of the standout additions to this year's Africa International Housing Show was the Innovation Hub, a platform that brought together some of Africa's brightest innovators to showcase ideas and technologies aimed at addressing housing and construction challenges. The initiative attracted enthusiastic participation from young innovators and industry stakeholders, all driven by a shared vision of developing practical, scalable solutions for the built environment. We spoke with some of these innovators about the ideas behind their innovations, what inspired their solutions, and how technology and creativity can build smarter, more sustainable communities.
The Innovation Hub and the Young Professionals platform is a new idea. As the word implies, innovation is a new thing that we are bringing on board in the AIHS, whereby we can gather the young professionals, the innovators together, as a kind of mentoring platform, where those that to some extent they've gathered idea, they've gathered experience over time in the industry. When you talk of housing provision, solutions to housing and all of that, the future of housing lies on innovation. So, and that is why we come up with this idea that, okay, let's see how we can be incubating young professionals with young ideas, young experiences that we can impact into the society.
The young people need a voice, right? And there are a lot of ideas, but the platform where those ideas can thrive is where we are lacking, especially in the real estate sector. You have a lot of boot camps in tech, you have a lot of boot camps in fintech, agri-tech, but there isn't so much focus in breeding the next generation of real estate innovators. And I think this Youth Innovation Hub that the AIHS put together, I think this is the first edition. It's perfect. And in fact, I believe hopefully by next year, more innovators and even the present ones, both the ones that came in as innovators and the participants, will go back, think, and also, by the grace of God, come back next year with their own innovations.
So the expectation is now we have 10 innovators and about 50 young professionals. By next year, we would like to increase to about 50 innovators and to have about 200 young professionals that we're all going to be working together. My message to the young innovators, on one hand, is to keep doing what they're doing very well, to continue looking for how to scale up. I was teaching them on the how to ask for things they need to grow their business. They should not relent on their efforts. And for the young professionals, they've got brilliant ideas. They should not allow the ideas, their dream, to die.
As the curtains came down on the 20th African International Housing Show, stakeholders gathered for two defining moments that celebrated the event's achievements while setting the agenda for the future of housing in Africa. The AIHS Awards and Gala Nights honored outstanding individuals and organizations whose contributions have continued to drive innovation, investment, and sustainable housing development across the continent. The event also featured the presentation of the AIHS 2026 Communiqué, highlighting key resolutions, policy recommendations, and collective commitment aimed at advancing practical, inclusive, and sustainable solutions to Africa's housing challenges. Here are the highlights.
We want to thank African International Housing Show for recognizing us this year, and we'll continue to partner with you year in, year out to make sure that the show gets better every year.
We were proud to be part of the exhibition that was going on in Transcorp Hilton, and we think that it was a very good opportunity for us to meet and connect.
Putting up a show that brings everyone in the build sector, not just in Nigeria but in Africa, under one roof is a big one. And as we can all see, this show was a great success.
Firstly, I would say congratulations to Barrister Festus again. He has gone so far, and I would say he's bringing Africa, Nigeria to the global world.
I have been with AIHS for the past 17 years, and one thing I have seen is consistency. One thing I have seen is energy driven into passion.
Mr. Festus Adebayo is a champion. The show keeps getting better from year to year. The results keep improving from year to year. The footfall increases from year to year. And we say a big congratulations to the team.
Affordable housing must be recognized as a strategic national development priority and a key instrument for poverty reduction, job creation, and economic growth. Every African country should develop a national affordable housing strategy with measurable annual housing delivery progress and targets. Governments should increase annual budgetary allocations to affordable housing and supporting infrastructure. Number 4, African governments should prioritize housing for low-income earners, informal workers, women, the youth, and persons with disability. 5, land administration systems should be modernized through digitalization, simplify land registration, and reduce transaction costs.
As the African International Housing Show came to a close, we asked participants, exhibitors, and other attendees one simple question. What will you remember most about AIHS 2026? From meaningful networking opportunities and insightful talks to innovative exhibitions and new business connections, their responses captured the experiences and lasting impressions of this year's event. Let's hear what they had to say.
AIHS promised to be more than exciting, and truly and really we've experienced more than it promised. It's been amazing so far. We've met with so many businesses, we've connected, we've sold our businesses, we've sold our products. It's been, in fact, entirely amazing. That's just the word for it.
We have done amazingly well for just 3 days. I mean, we've met so many dignitaries and people you would only think of that have been present here. I mean, to witness what we have here.
And yesterday, the minister and also the head of the event also came here to our booth, and they were very impressed with what they saw.
It's been wonderful since on the third day, so today is the third day, and people have been coming around to actually know what we do. And so far, so good. Some of them have been going on with different ideas.
People are turning up, and we have a lot of requests. People are interested in our products, and we've been given quotations so far from the day we started.
Oh my God, it's been very engaging, very engaging. It is actually very, I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed. I feel like this is an avenue for, meeting a lot of, great minds, collaborating, and it's been very interesting.
From the first day, people have been coming gradually. Second day, it's been amazing. People have been coming to our stand because we have what it takes actually in a mortgage bank.
We've got a lot of visitors on our booths. We've even had to direct some people to our booths, and they've been interested in our properties, even though we're based more in Lagos.
No gainsaying the fact that it was indeed a legacy edition. If you missed it, that was a big miss. However, get ready for next year's edition. The exhibition may have come to an end, but the conversations, partnerships and ideas that emerged from the 20th African International Housing Show are only just beginning to shape the future of housing across Africa. Over the past week, we've witnessed groundbreaking innovations, strategic collaborations, policy engagements and bold commitments aimed at expanding access to decent and affordable housing for millions of Africans. In the coming weeks, Housing Development will continue to bring you exclusive interviews, in-depth reports, and special features from AIHS at 20, taking a closer look at the people, projects, and policies driving the next chapter of Africa's housing transformation. Until then, thank you very much indeed for joining us on this week's edition. For more updates, exclusive reports, and housing-related content, please follow Housing TV Africa across all our social media platforms displayed on your screen. I'm Joseph Johnson. See you next time.